The shadow of the eagle. In the heart of a restless France, a child was born amidst the swirling mists of ambition, whose dreams would soon cast long shadows across the sunlit fields of Europe. This child, Napoleon Bonaparte, was like a tiny seed blown by the winds of fate into the fertile soil of opportunity. With every gust, he adapted, transformed, and began to grow into a towering oak, ready to conquer the landscape around him. As a young boy, Napoleon wandered through the halls of a gilded schoolhouse, where knowledge poured over him like sunlight breaking through the canopy of a dense forest. Every lesson was a stepping stone, every failure was a branch that bent but never broke. He learned that strategy was not merely the art of war but the dance of life, requiring rhythm, timing, and an awareness of the terrain. With growing obsession, he studied the classics, devouring stories of heroes and empires that rose and fell like the tides. But as he climbed, so did the weight of his ambition. The eagle, once a tender fledgling, spread its wings wide, casting its shadows over the land. Napoleon became the embodiment of determination, a vortex of willpower that drew nations into his orbit. Like a painter, he wielded brushstrokes of military genius, coloring the canvas of history with victories and reforms. He was a comet blazing across the night sky, illuminating the path for some while obscuring it for others. As he gazed across his sprawling empire from his throne, the world at his feet, a strange silence enveloped him, a reflection of the vast void carved by his conquests. He inhabited a palace of dreams that echoed with the laughter of courtiers and the whispers of the defeated. Loneliness curled around him, thick as the smoke from the cannon fire that marked his victories. No longer just an eagle soaring over the firmament, he was now perched high alone on a branch, watching as storms brewed below. The battlefield became his parlor, the common men, mere pawns in a chess game where the stakes were the lives of millions. He had become both the captain of a great vessel and the storm that threatened to tear it apart. As the sails caught the winds of his ambition, they also began to fray. The very fabric of his empire, once woven with the threads of unity and progress, began to unravel, frayed by war and the insatiable thirst for power. But as the fates would have it, the eagle's wings grew heavy. The winter's bitter chill swept over the land, just as despair crept into his heart. Exile on the island of Elba became not just a physical restraint, but a reflection of the isolation he had forged for himself through years of relentless ambition. Stripped of his crown, he stood naked against the tempest of his own making. In this stillness, he found a spark of introspection. The world did not revolve around his ego. The metaphorical mirrors of the past revealed a fractured man, reminding him that as he had climbed to unparalleled heights, he had neglected the roots, the people, the allies, the very humanity that had once been his strength. Like a forgotten flower wilting in the shade, his heart began to yearn for connection rather than conquest. With time, Napoleon learned to tend to his inner garden. He envisioned another path, one of reconciliation rather than division, a legacy not merely of glory but of growth. The mighty eagle, weary from the relentless flaps of battle, began to realize that true greatness lay not in dominion but in the embrace of shared human experiences, the soil from which compassion flourishes. The story of Napoleon Bonaparte serves as a somber reminder: ambition can certainly elevate us, but unchecked, it can also isolate us. As he returned to France for one final tumultuous chapter, he understood that the real victories lay in our choices, between power and empathy, conquest and community, isolation and connection. Moral, true greatness is not defined by the heights we ascend but by the kindness we extend on our journey. In the pursuit of our dreams, let us not forget to nurture the roots of humanity that ground us.